How do you think an original song would work in your video marketing strategy? Well, today we can ask that question to Adam Holt, CEO of Asset Map and our Real Video Finfluencer. Adam, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, Laura. Great to see you.
So, do you embrace the title of a Real Video Finfluencer?
I didn't realize that I had become that. And thanks for letting me know that I am now a video influencer.
Well, I ran across one piece of content over on your LinkedIn profile that seemed to have gotten more engagement than anything else I saw. And it was this video
I gotta say something to financial advice industry
of a song post Shift conference, I think inspired by the Shift experience.
Oh my goodness. I didn't think anybody had watched that before.
Well, apparently a lot of people have watched it because you had a lot of engagement. Tell me a little bit about how you put this thing together, Adam.
Okay, so this is really fun. So I was on a podcast and someone told me that there was an AI music application that could take a script, if you wrote the script yourself, a theme, and you can have it create any kind of music. And I said, well, create a rap with this many beats per minute that talked about this kind of the joke of what's going on in terms of advice and how it needs to be deeply human. And it came out really fun. And I just kept playing with it and editing it on the side. And then eventually I put screenshots behind it using my podcasting application that I use for my own podcast. And I threw it out there as a farce. And I think I probably listened it to myself 100 times. It was pretty funny.
It's still playing in my head after just watching it once, Adam. Thank you very much. Tell me a little bit more about your approach to video on LinkedIn. Anything you see here that would help other advisors use the platform better?
You know, it's true. When I look at this list, some of the stuff that's gotten the most engagement, like you look at that Rocky statue one, which is very Philadelphia. I remember I drove past that on the way back from dropping my kid to school. I had this idea and I just jumped out of the car because there was no line. And I thought, God, that'll be recognizable to people. People will wonder what that is. So over the years, from learning from individuals like yourself and also other finfluencers, I guess you could say, I realized that the stuff that I was watching and was capturing my attention in this kind of endless scroll world was when it, number one, just spoke directly to me, right? In other words, it captured my attention. I either knew who it was or I knew it was intended for the audience, in this case, financial advisors. And then I created something that was somewhat compelling, but authentic was really been the key. So I'm sure you talk about this all the time, Laura. Authenticity really sells.
Is there a appropriate formula or appropriate breakdown of the amount of content you post that is how-to, the amount that's about Asset Map, and the amount that is personal?
That's a good question. I tend to stay away from Facebook in terms of the personal. I tend to guard my life and protect my family from, more anonymity side. On LinkedIn, I tend to be a little bit more edgy. I like to push the limits. When most people approach LinkedIn as, oh, I have to kind of stay straight. Where's my tie? Where's my jacket? And I try to come at it more. I try to bring the Facebook, Instagram, view to LinkedIn, which is what people, I think disarms and brings people back to like, okay, this is real stuff, as opposed to, oh, it's a marketing thing coming. They want me to buy something. Obviously, we all know LinkedIn is just so prolific in terms of business to business. So I think going authentic in a business environment is a real big, I think it's a smart move.
So you have something just shy of 9,000 followers on LinkedIn these days, which amounts to a huge audience. If there is one thing you're doing there that you would recommend advisors do, what would it be?
Only one thing?
Only one thing.
Play an original song. I thought you were going to make me play. I really did. When you said play an original song, I'm like, oh no, I'm going to actually have to perform here. True authenticity, by the way, even if it's not good.
And vulnerability.
Vulnerability, yeah. I've used that word several times, as you've already heard it, and everybody has their own comfort zone with this. Not everybody has the interest to write long posts, but we talk to people all day as financial advisors. We know how to do that. We know how to connect at some level. We know how to educate. So I think if you're ever at all cautious about creating video content, just go for education. Just pretend you're talking to your clients and you're letting them know what they could do, either on a specific topic or a general topic or what you see people not doing. And I think the key to the authenticity is to allow yourself to be imperfect, right? It doesn't have to be no ums, no like you knows, no, right? Like cut down, perfect lighting, great background. I mean, great, those things are smart moves. But I think the key is that people are looking for a way to connect with you. Because as we all know, financial advice is still a trust business. And that means that we need to find ways to build and endear trust and show that we're human just like them.
Adam, when I watch your videos there, or rather when I listen to your videos, you have a lot of voice control, your inflection, kind of the tonal change. Is that deliberate? Is that something that comes from a theater history? How can you coach people who aren't confident yet in delivering the way you deliver?
I do have an obsession with auditory communication because my modality of learning is actually listening. So I'm an auditory learner. If I hear it, I got it. I find myself, I have to actually say things out loud so that I can actually hear it. Otherwise, it's just chatter in my head. So that's, as a result, I feel like I'm continuously practicing communicating with myself. And so going on stage, and some people I think talk in front of the mirror, some people talk in the shower, some people are in front of the mirror, or whatever they do when they drive. I think for me, I'm constantly doing it. I also have a bunch of mentors, right? So there are people that I listen to and that I watch and that I grew up with. I grew up with Tony Robbins, basically watching him on stage all the time, listening to his tapes thousands of times over. So being a storyteller really, really requires that you be choiceful in that intonation. And I tended to use that also when I would speak to my children and and tell stories, right? So doing this created more entertainment value, and I think it just stuck. So I do actively think about it though. So if it seems like it's so natural, it's because I've just done it 1,000 times.
Well, remember, if Adam can do it, you can do it too. And if you need more help building your authority and growing your practice with video, that's what we do at Idea Decanter.